The best way to get better at programming is to practice. In this example, we're going to work with conditions and strings. Specifically, we're going to write a program to check to see if a password is correct. This password is hard-coded into our application, and it's a system-wide, but that's okay for what we're going to do. We'll give one output if the password's correct, or a different output if the password is incorrect. As always, the file is available for download and a link in the description down below. You can pause this video so you can attempt it on your own, and then restart the video to test it to see if you're correct. Alright, so let's see what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do, and is already created for you, is a password. And this is a constant, so it's written in all caps. We can use this in our application, no problem, just like we use a regular variable. Now let's get the password from the user. Notice that password is now all lowercase. This is because it's our variable. Next, we're going to check to see, is our password correct? So we're going to use an if statement. We'll say if password, which is what was entered, equals password being the constant we defined, colon, if those two are equal, we have an output, Now, if something is not correct, we're not going to do a second if statement and say if password is not equal to our password. Instead, we use an else block. Notice the else is not indented. It's on the same line as the if, and so it matches with that if condition. We have a colon after our else, just like we did with our if condition. But now we're going to do something different. Okay, and so that is our answer. Now, if you downloaded this before, and we're going to test this out in just a second, we're going to ask the question, is the password case sensitive? So we're going to answer that in just a second when we test this. By the way, this is a great password. It's got uppercase, lowercase, numbers, special characters, and is really, really long. But it's also relatively easy to remember. It just takes a long time to write. The password was correct. I may proceed. That's what I wanted to have. All right, let's run this again, but with something that's incorrect. Bad password. My password guess is incorrect. That's what I'm expecting. Now, let's test what's going to happen if we use the wrong case. And so I'm just going to use all lowercase. Now, notice I still used my numbers and I still used all my special characters. So all I'm doing is use this as all lowercase. Do you think this is going to work? Well, if we hit the enter key, you're going to notice the password guess is incorrect. It doesn't work. And the reason why just simply is because Python is case sensitive. And when it looks at characters in a string, it's a different value for an uppercase letter than a lowercase letter. Now, if we wanted to make this so it always works, there is some string modifiers that we can use. So, for example, on password, I can say password dot lower, and this is a special method that's given to us to be used with strings that's going to make all the password lower. Well, then I can say my capital password, the one that's my constant, I can say, you know what, I'm also going to use it lower. Now, no matter what I put in, it's going to go in and convert everything to lowercase so we don't worry about the case sensitivity. There's also an upper if we want to force it to be uppercase. Let's go ahead and save this real quick and run it. And now I'm going to test it once again. And notice that because we force it to both be all lowercase, it's correct. And I could put this in as all uppercase, so if I maybe had cap locks on, it would work that way. Now, this does make a password less secure. So it's probably not what you want to do for a password, but this still functions correctly, and you use it in other decision statements, other places if you need to. Keep watching for other videos on how to practice with Python.